Hey grade 6. Today we're going to be doing an experiment to illustrate something called Bernoulli's principle. Now that has to do with the way that air speed can affect air pressure. But aside from that, I'm not going to give you too many details here because, as usual, I want you to observe and draw conclusions rather than be told everything ahead of time. So for this experiment, we're going to need a way to accelerate air. We're going to need a couple of things that can be affected by it, and just a way to demonstrate that those two things are being affected by the air. So let's take a look at what we've got. To do this experiment, you're going to need two light objects that are exactly the same. You could use balloons for this, but obviously for scale you'd probably need something bigger. I'm using ping pong balls and a chopstick. If you use balloons, you might want like a meter stick and a little more string than I've got. But for my version of this experiment, what I've got in front of me is all I'm going to need. I've got two ping pong balls, a chopstick, a straw, two lengths of string that are the same length, and some tape. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do it off camera so you don't have to watch me fumbling with everything, but I'm going to pause this recording. And then I'm going to tape the string to each ping pong ball and hang the ping pong balls off of the chopstick. I'll be right back in a second to show you how that looks. Okay, we now have two ping pong balls hanging roughly at about the same height. You can see there's a couple of millimeters difference between the two of them, but they're hanging about the same height from this chopstick. Now you don't want them too far apart. I've gone with about 3 centimeters. That's about the max you're going to want for this if you're using a straw. Now again, you might scale this up by using things like balloons and a hairdryer instead of ping pong balls and a straw. But the actual experiment here is quite simple. All I'm going to do is I'm going to blow air as quickly as I can between the two ping pong balls. Now I'm not going to blow at the ping pong balls, I'm going to specifically blow between them. Now that's what I need you to do as well. So here we go. The air is going to be rushing between the ping pong balls. One more time, just to show what happened there. As the air is rushing through the middle, they seem to get sucked in until eventually they get in the airstream itself and get blown away. But something about that fast-moving air traveling between them is drawing them in and making them hit each other. There you go. That's our experiment for this time. Now, we have learned about something this week. I'm just going to wrap this up so it doesn't roll everywhere. We have learned about something this week in our science class that could explain what's happening there. And it does have to do with the changes in air pressure that we've been observing in other experiments this year as well. So, however you can explain what just happened, I'm looking forward to seeing in your lab reports. Now, bonus, since this was a very short video. As we're here, the same principle can actually be demonstrated with something as simple as a sheet of white paper. So, anything will do. The point here is to show that as air is rushing past something, things happen to it. And if the thing is light enough and easy to be affected, it will get pulled toward that rushing air. Fast-moving air over the top of the paper sucks the paper up into it. Fast-moving air through the middle of the ping pong balls sucks them into the center. The rest is up to you. That's it this time though. That was a real short one. Just a very clear demonstration of something called Bernoulli's principle. And if you know what that is, then hopefully you're able to write a very good conclusion about that. That's it this time though, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.